That Sober Guy podcast contains adult content, merciless truth, and emotional nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
I'm Shane Ramey. You're listening to That Sober Guy podcast, and we help people stay sober. If it's your first time listening, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today. I'm going to share with you today my simple 60-minute recovery workout routine. So if you're looking for somewhere to start, trying to stay fit, trying to stay active, hopefully a few of these tips will help you. Big shout out to my buddy Robbie from Humans. You're listening to Robbie sing right now. He's got an amazing voice. He's an amazing dude. He reached out to me a couple days ago. We've been playing phone tag a little bit, texting back and forth, but just want to say a huge shout out to him and to Humans Music for allowing us to use their music in the intro of That Sober Guy podcast. Man, it's been, 5+ years now, I think. I've used a couple of different jams, but if you want to check their music out, you can go to humansmusic.com or Spotify, iTunes. They're all over the place. They got some great jams. Love you, Robbie! Yeah, buddy. All right, so my simple 60-minute recovery workout routine. I'm going to go over it for you. I'm going to talk a little bit how I transitioned from the garage here back to the gym. Before we do that, are you tired of drinking? We have a 30-day program designed to help you quit drinking for 30 days or more. Maybe that's why you're here today. Like, man, I'm over it. I found this podcast and like, dude, I want to quit. I want to at least try this challenge of 30 days alcohol-free. Our program is called Quit Drinking Dude, the ultimate men's guide to quit drinking alcohol and stay sober for 30 days or more. You can check it out right now. You get the entire 30-day program for 50% off through the month of February. So we just got a couple weeks left, less than 2 weeks, I think, and then it'll go back up to the regular price. But if you use the promo code 50% off, when you go to quitdrinkingdude.com, you can get the full 30-day podcast program. You got 30 podcasts in 30 days with some exercises, some takeaways. You got the 30-day sober journal in there and all kinds of other great things and resources. You'll get added to the Sober Guy Men's Locals group for support. We have a lot of great things in there. We've had some great feedback and dudes going through the process actively right now who are already hit 30 days alcohol-free or who are well on their way there. So one more time, go to quitdrinkingdude.com if you're interested in checking out the 30-day Quit Drinking Dude Challenge. And let us know what you think, too. If you have questions, comments, you can hit the contact form at thatsoberguy.com. A couple of other announcements. I'm currently taking applications, or I don't know if it's application or a questionnaire, however you want to put it, for our new upcoming Sober Guy Men's Mastermind group. So here's the thing. The mastermind group is starting this spring. If you're going, what the hell is a mastermind group? I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, and I'll tell you where you can get some more info on exactly what it is. First, it's capped out at about 6 or 7 dudes. So if you want to make connections with other men who are looking to make an impact and find their unique sense of purpose, maybe find themselves, like, man, I know for me, I was 32 before I started to find out who the hell I really am. And I still continue to do that and learn and grow. But if you want to live a life free from alcohol, create powerful relationships that help support living an amazing freaking life, check out a mastermind group. And like I said, we have a new one starting up in the spring. We'll probably do maybe an additional one in the summer, depending on how that goes. But if you go to thatsoberguy.com, you click on mastermind groups, you can fill out the questionnaire there. And there's more information on what a mastermind group is and how it works. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. Last but not least, you can follow us on Instagram at That Sober Guy Podcast. You can join us in our Men's Sober Guy Men's Group on Locals. You can download Locals app, or you can go to thatsoberguypodcast.locals.com. And that makes up our announcements today. So I'm so happy that you're here today. I'm glad to talk a little bit about this today. My 60-minute recovery workout routine. And I think it's probably, my simple 60-minute. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. My simple 60-minute recovery workout routine. And is it perfect? No. I'm not a athletic coach. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a certified health expert even, or a fitness trainer like my buddy Trent. Coach Trent is. What's up, Coach Trent, by the way, in case you ever listen to this. I love you, brother. Trent taught me so much, though, about CrossFit, just about being healthy, about movements, about mobility. Him and my buddy Noel, too. And I miss Noel. I met him at the CrossFit gym. He just came up the other day, too. He'd been on the podcast, I know, as well, in addition to Trent. I don't remember what episode that was, but that was a fun one, too. But I learned so much from both of these guys, just about movements and proper technique and staying fit, the importance of mindset, all of these things that tie in to living a better lifestyle, to being at our full potential, no matter what age we are, too. I mean, that all differs for everybody, a little bit. We're different ages, we're different body types, we have different things going on in our lives. But at the end of the day, man, staying fit is so important, not just physically. Yeah, we want to look good, we want to feel good, but man, like spiritually, mentally, man, it's so big for me. And I think that, through these last few months, the end of last year and then coming into this year, with us moving and just a lot of different things going on in just life and in the world, it was tough to stay plugged in around the holidays and then up until, like all through the month of January. It was a tough time. Like I said, we moved, and like I tried to set up like a makeshift gym in the garage when we moved in. And put some kettlebells out there, put a heavy bag up and some jump ropes, and just tried to like set it up. And it's a decent little setup. Like it's nothing fancy. We got a pull-up bar in here also. And we have everything we need pretty much to get some decent workouts in. We got an awesome rocky hill behind us that we can run up or walk up. So we have different options. But being that I work at home and that I'm home a lot, and it was just like, it was really hard for me to get motivated. Like I did get a few workouts in, and, it just, it was different than going to like the CrossFit gym or going to the squat rack at the gym. And I just found it to be difficult to get in the mode, to get motivated. And so at the end of the day, Jess and I were on a walk, and that's, I will say that's one thing that has stayed very consistent for me is walking. So regardless if last year I tried to surf, a lot of the year, and I'll just say, good Lord, surfing is probably one of the hardest sports I've ever tried. It takes a ton of practice, a ton of time. You have to be in amazing shape to be out there paddling. And I was in pretty good shape last year for the most part. I was staying pretty active. I was on a good path and a good schedule. And look, life hits us sometimes, and things change, and we got to make adjustments. But even through that month of January, last month, through the holidays, through the move, through all the change, one of the things that stayed consistent was my walks. And so at least and I'm just saying that, like, at least if you're listening right now and you're like, man, that's too much, like a schedule, like I just don't have time or whatever. Number one, we can always make time for what we really want to do. Just might have to get up a little earlier or stay up a little bit later. So the time thing, I get it, but I know dudes like my buddy Charlie, that dude works like 7 days a week, damn near, and he works in the Bay Area. He commutes, and that dude is up at like 3 a.m. going to the gym, hitting the squat rack and hitting the bench press, and he's shredded. And he's an older dude too, and you wouldn't know. And he works his ass off, but he finds the time to get something in. And so I'm saying you can find the time to get a walk in, for 15 minutes after you eat dinner, or get up 30 minutes earlier and take the dog for a walk before work. We can just start there. It's so important to stay active, to stay moving, to stay on a path where we're moving our bodies. And like I said, not just for the physical, for the mental, for the emotional, for the mind, for the body, for the spirit. They all tie together. And I like to do a lot of my thinking, a lot of my meditating, a lot of my praying when I'm on walks. Sometimes I don't do any of that. I listen to a podcast or I put some music on, or I just don't do anything. I just walk. I just kind of zone out. So that gives me some time to do that, to set my day up if I'm doing it in the morning, or to wind my day down. Like last night, I took about a 45-minute walk. It was after dinner. I ate some dinner. The kids and Jess were hanging out, and I said, man, it was kind of a weird day. I need to go get a walk in. So it was dark out, still, we haven't changed the clocks back yet. So, from like 7 to like 7:45, I just cruised through the neighborhood, went on my little path and got some movement in. And one of the best things that we can do is right after we eat dinner is to take a walk. There's a lot of science behind it. I don't have it in front of me, but I know there is something to it because it helps your food digest and it helps you to stay mobile. It helps to ease your joints, ease your stomach, ease your digestive system. All those things play together in the mind, body, and spirit. So what am I saying? Before I get into the actual workout thing, we got to do something. So even if I'm going to share this workout coming up, even if you're like, man, I'm not doing that, or man, that sounds awesome, whatever it is, like we need to be doing something. So make some adjustments. Maybe you can take one thing out of this workout that I'm going to share with you and you can use it in your own and then mold some other things together. Maybe it's a quick hike. Maybe it's a walk. Maybe it's a jog. I'm into this new thing called yogging. I forgot what movie that was from, but Anchorman maybe? I don't know. But do something is the point. Do something. You have to stay mobile. Like Seth, for instance. Seth, man, all into yoga. Dude, and he's trying to, I was very happy to hear, he was sharing some of this with Jess recently. I think she's going to try out a little bit of yoga. I should probably try out some yoga too. I've done it a couple times. I'm just so intimidated by my non-flexible ass that it's hard. Yoga is hard. It's like anything, but it's only as hard as you make it, and it's only as hard as the work you put in practice, like anything. So I don't want to sit up here and make excuses. Maybe I'll go try a class with Jess. I'll report back on that to you. And of course I'll share it with Seth if I do decide to do that, but do something. That's the point. Okay. So let me get into, where did it go? There we go. My simple 60-minute recovery workout routine. And so, this is roughly 60 minutes-ish, give or take a little bit. So I will go to the gym, right? And start with a quick little warm-up. Maybe I'll kind of map out a little space and maybe get some general stretches in. I can roll out a little bit. I like to try to get a warm-up in is like 5 to 10 minutes tops. So, I'm going to do maybe some high knees, some butt kickers. If I can jog a little bit, I will. I'm going to stretch out. Just pick your basic stretches, and that's, touch your toes. I forgot what they're called now. Something worms. I don't know why I'm totally drawing a blank, but basically you stand with your legs apart and you bend down and touch the ground, and then you roll your hands out and do a push-up position, and then you do a push-up, and then you roll your hands back in. Usually do like 5 of those. Inchworms, that's what they are. And so I usually do 5 of those, and then, I'm getting warmed up a little bit. I'll do some squats with no weight, just some body weight squats, maybe 10, 20 of those, a couple jumping jacks, boom, you're warmed up. You should be able to warm up in like 5 to 10 minutes tops. The next phase that I have recently started with, and these are all things that I've done, throughout time and learned. And now like this workout is just a workout that I did last week. So this is just one of the days. So I don't do this same one other than the 5x5, which I'm about to get to. That is a consistent one, but some of these other CrossFit style workouts are meant to be short. They're meant to be quick, and they're meant to be mixed up a bit. So you can do all kinds of different things. And I'll leave some links to some of these workouts that I've found in the show notes today too. So there's a couple articles that I found that had like the top 10, fast beginner CrossFit workouts or whatever that you can use. So I'll be sure to put those in there as well. But let's start with the 5x5. Okay, let's start with the 5x5. That's going to be something that is, 100% consistent right now for me as I'm going through this process, trying to put on some muscle, trying to put on, trying to build strength, and all of the 5x5 is in the squat rack. Okay. And I use an app, which I'll put in the show notes as well, called 5x5 Strong Lifts. So this Strong Lifts app, I've used it for years. I would say probably I started it, and I remember working out with Seth and my buddy Christian at the time. That was probably around the time when I first found it. It had to have been back in maybe 2016, 2017. And so I haven't consistently done it all the time, but it's gone back and forth. I've probably been on 5 to 10 different, at least, if not more, 5x5 time. So, I mean, and like I'm saying, I'm not ashamed to admit, like, you go through phases and you go through different chapters, you go through different things in life. Like I did CrossFit for almost 2 years, I think, and so obviously I wasn't doing a specific 5x5 workout when I was doing CrossFit. I was doing a lot. I was doing work in the squat rack and stuff, but it wasn't this specific one. But I've always loved this one. The app has gotten really great too. I just downloaded the new version of it. But basically, here's what it is. So you're going to start in the squat rack. There's 2 workouts. There's workout A and there's workout B. So you go to the gym and you start with workout A. And what does that consist of? I'm going to tell you. Workout A consists of squats, bench press, and barbell row. 3 exercises. That's it. They're all in the squat rack or near the squat rack with the barbell row. Same with the bench. Obviously, you're going to be on a bench press. You set your weight, what you think, where you're at. But here's the thing. You need to set it low. If you're a beginner, set it at the beginner weight. If you're an expert, set it at a normal or intermediate weight, I would say. And here's why. Because if you max out, you have no room to grow. The idea of a 5x5 and of strong lifts is to get stronger a little bit at a time. Okay, so in workout A, it's squat, bench, barbell row. In workout B, it's squat, overhead press, and deadlift. So yes, you heard that right. Both workouts, you're squatting. So you're going to squat. So like I do my workouts Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I squat Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And every time I squat, I add 5 pounds to my workout. Okay, so I had to come back and start light on this one because I haven't done anything in the squat rack in months. So I lost a lot of my strength. I did some body weight squats, but it's different than being in the squat rack with weight. So I started light. I started at 135. I know that's super light for a guy my size. I'm 6 foot plus a little bit and roughly 200 pounds. And I was sore as shit on Tuesday last week and Wednesday. Like, man, I was really sore. And that's why that I have to start light though, because I want to improve. I want to gain strength. My goal is, to get up in the next, month, 2 months to like 225. Like that, I'm just going to set that goal right now. That's where I want to be. I know that's not a ton of weight. I'm 40. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder, but I am trying to be strong and I am trying to be in good enough shape so I can still be athletic and I can play with my kids and I can be, have some decent mobility and not feel like a fat piece of shit, like period. I mean, that's it. So squat. And so that goes with the rest of these. Every other exercise, squat, bench, barbell row, deadlift, overhead press, squat. You're adding weight a little bit at a time. Okay. So you can go, and I don't have any connection to Strong Lifts. They're not a sponsor. I just love this program because it's simple. And here was the other part to this. You should be able to get a workout, especially your early workouts as they're light, because they're still pretty lightweight, right? You're trying to get acclimated to it. As they get heavier, they're going to take a little bit longer because you're going to need to rest longer in between each set. Like right now I have my rest set up at 1.5 minutes. Eventually once I start getting to some weight that's like, it's starting to get a little challenging, I'm going to up that rest to probably like 3 minutes in between. And they have a timer on the app where you can do that. So it gives you rest. It lets you know when to go next. But this workout, especially the one with the deadlifts, that's workout B, man, it shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes to do it in the beginning because it's pretty light and you're working through and you should be able to work at a pretty decent pace. I know I can. Like I said, as they get stronger or as you get stronger and as the weight increases, it might take a little bit longer. Now, when maybe you're saying, well, what if I don't have a squat rack? Okay, it's going to be a little different. You're going to have to, and I didn't even put this in any of the show notes today. It just popped in my head right now, like somebody saying to me, well, man, I don't have a squat rack. Well, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I wish I had an answer. I'm kidding. I'm kind of kidding. There are alternative exercises. I know there are certain people who don't have the capabilities or they're not in an environment where they have a squat rack. We got to get creative in that. There's ways that we can do weighted squats. I've seen people use water jugs before. I've seen people use anything that is heavy that they're able to pick up and set down. That's the goal. And the other part of the goal is to use correct form and to use good posture and to use your legs and not your back in certain circumstances. I mean, obviously we're using our back muscles in some instances, but we want to do that properly. Okay. And like I said, another caveat, I'm not a coach. I'm not a health professional. I'm not certified, any of that stuff. I'm just telling you from my own experience because I'm sharing this stuff. I have gotten sore. I have had minor tweaks and hurts because I wasn't using the proper form. And if you have any, ability at all to get some professional coaching or somebody, just maybe it's a homie who knows what the hell he's doing. A lot of people know that dude who's just like has worked out his whole life and just knows shit. Find that guy and maybe you just find him in the gym or it's someone that find that person and get a couple workouts in and have them help you. If you can't get access to like a squat rack or to the app. Also, let me also say on the Strong Lifts app, you also have videos on there. So they're really short videos. I'm looking at it right now and it says learn proper form and you got bench press, you got deadlift and you click on it and it'll just give you, it's one exercise and he's actually doing the exercise, showing you how to keep your back straight, keep your shoulders back, keep your legs bent, keep your head up, like those types of things that will help you with your form and, so you don't get hurt and so you can do the exercises properly too. So 5x5 Strong Lifts app, highly recommend it. And like I said, if you don't have a squat rack, that's a bummer. I get it. But there are other creative ways that you can still do a lot of the same movements with things around the house, or you got to get creative depending on the environment you're in. And sometimes, man, maybe that is just body weight stuff. So if we were transitioning and if it was, me and I have been in this position, like where I didn't have a squat rack before, I would go back to body weight stuff. So just body weight, air squats, a ton of them, push-ups, and sit-ups, burpees, those types of things can get your ass whipped in shape just as fast too. So I didn't even think of that when I was kind of going over some of this, but, I'm glad that came up because not everybody has the same access to equipment, to space, maybe we're in a different environment where we don't have that kind of stuff, but we can still remain fit. We can still do something. And that's the key. The next part of this, so like I said, about 30 minutes on 5x5, especially to start. It's going to take a little bit longer as you move on. Now, after I got my Strong Lifts 5x5 done, okay, I get a drink of water, stretch out a little bit, and then go upstairs at my gym. This part is upstairs. There's a rower up there. The rower is one of my favorite machines. I was just on the phone with Seth the other day and we were talking. He was doing some yoga and then he was getting some good workouts and he said he's been running a lot lately. But he also said, as same with myself, that his knees started hurting after a minute. And as we get older, man, our joints, they're not the same. They can't handle the same type of agility movements and pressure that we once could when we were younger. And so, we get those pains sometimes. And that's where rolling out comes in, mobility, stretching, yoga, that stuff. And obviously our diet helps like huge with that. But at the same time, maybe we need an alternative to running regardless, even if we're doing all the right things. And the rower for me is like number one. So I set it up for a 2,000 meter row to start. And I think that took me right around 8 minutes or so, 8.5 minutes. That's at a pretty comfortable pace, but I'm moving like in, 250, 500 meters at a pace, and then going really hard for like 250 or 500 meters, just depending on how I'm feeling. And so I'm trying to like get my heart rate going and then bring it down, get my heart rate going and then bring it down. And in that, I did a couple 2,000 meter rows. And then on, Monday of this week, I did a 5,000 meter row. So that one was killer. It took me about 21 minutes. And same thing, I would blast out and just like go hard. And then I'd have to slow down because I'd start to get sore, or tired, and it was a little bit sore in like my glutes and my butt from sitting down on the rower. But that workout is so great. And if you just start with that 2,000 meter row, it should only take you like, I don't know, I'm just going to average maybe 10 minutes. And that's give or take a couple of minutes, depending on what kind of speed and what kind of shape you're in. But that's another, so you're getting some cardio. So now you've done the strong lifts, right? Now you're getting some cardio in. And same thing. If you don't have a rower or you don't have a gym, or you don't have access, man, maybe it's a jog. Maybe it's a fast paced walk. Maybe it's a hike up a hill, something to get some cardio in, some calisthenics maybe. For me, I love the rower. I have access to it again right now, so I'm using the crap out of it. Okay, so 5x5, 2,000 meter row, and then I jump in to an 8-minute burpee box jumps and 16 kettlebell swings. So that is in, let me turn this off real quick there. That is in an 8-minute span. So like I said, 30 minutes on strong lifts, let's just say 10 minutes on the row. So that's 40 minutes. And then 8-minute burpee box jumps and 16 kettlebell swings. That's 48 minutes. And then we'll factor in about 12 minutes for like your warm up and your water break. So that should bring it to roughly about 60 minutes. Okay. And so what is this 8-minute burpee box jumps thing you're talking about? It's an ass kicker for 8 minutes, depending on how fast you want to go. So you get something. I have access to a box at the gym. Maybe you're at home and you don't have access to like one of the Rogue boxes or whatever. You can use step ups. You can use, I'm looking at a bunch of tubs right now. Maybe you fill something up in those plastic tubs that has a hard top. Maybe you can use something like that. I'm just trying to get creative off the top of my head. So I don't know that that's the safest option, but it's something I'm looking at right now. Maybe there's a step out in your backyard. There's a deck. There has to be something that you can jump up on. So you might have to get creative on this one, depending on what your situation is. Like I said, in my case, I have access to a Rogue box. So I set that box up and now I can set my timer for 8 minutes. And here's what I do. I do a burpee and then I do a box jump. I jump up on the box and I jump over. I do a burpee. I jump up on the box and I jump over. That's 2. I do 8 of those. Then I stop and I grab my kettlebell and I do 16 kettlebell swings. 16 kettlebell swings. Then I jump back into 8 burpee box jumps. Now, I think I got through 3.5 sets in 8 minutes, which it's not great. It's not terrible. It's okay. And I'm still getting back in shape a little bit right now because I kind of fell off, as far as like this of the intensity of being in like a more, I guess, CrossFit style shape, cardio, weightlifting, everything. And it's hard, man, especially for like me. I'm 40 now. And if I take a week or 2 weeks off, man, it's really tough to get back in and get to that same place I was at. So consistency is key. And especially like, I took a couple of months off of like the intense workouts, and so I'm slowly having to kind of jump back in, but it's exciting. I'm actually going to take a break after this and go get my workout in right now, here pretty quick. And I'll probably do obviously the 5x5, and then I'll do something similar with either some rowing. Maybe I'll do some wall balls today. I looked at one of those workouts, so that'll be fun. But just something to get moving, something to have fun, switch it up a little bit. That 8-minute burpee box jumps is amazing. So if you need to rewind, what are we on, a VHS? Do you guys remember VHS? They had the rewinder, had like the little car. It was like a separate like Porsche. And then you put the VCR or the VHS tape in there and hit rewind. And it was like, be kind, rewind. If you need to go backwards in this, I guess rewind is still applicable in this. Who knows? Who cares, right? Just get your ass to the gym or get your ass out and get some fitness in the street or in your garage or wherever it is. But 8-minute burpee box jumps, 16 kettlebell swings, 2,000 meter row, 5x5 strong lift, the perfect, simple 60-minute recovery workout routine. And if you need to adjust and make do with what you got, you can still do something similar. And man, I think most importantly, have fun. I'm not going to cover diet too much on this because I'm not a dietitian nor a nutritionist, and my diet isn't the best all the time. I will 100% admit that. Is it terrible? No. Is it amazing? No. I love a good burger and a good piece of pizza sometimes, and I still struggle with jelly beans and sugar and a good maple bar here and there, but I'm working on it, and I'm trying to do the best I can as long as I'm staying busy. I know I'll get the diet dialed in eventually. And it goes through phases like anything, but trying to give myself grace, give yourself grace too, be easy on yourself. We're human beings. We're trying to do the best we can. But man, we got to hang in there and just keep moving forward. So I hope this helped you today. I hope that, if you can't do all this stuff, hopefully you can take just one thing, and I just want to end with this. This is not just about physical fitness again. Okay. This is about staying fit, staying active in mind, body, and spirit. This all comes together for me. And one of the biggest things I noticed over the last couple months in my attitude was the fact that I wasn't getting these types of workouts in, and it was really affecting my attitude. It was really affecting my mood. It was really affecting the way that I feel. It was affecting my energy. So man, just do something. Like I said, I'll put those links in the show notes to give you some more ideas on some of the workouts and where I found some of these. And then also, since I mentioned my buddy Trent, he's a great coach, man. Great dude. He's up in Seattle. He programs for people all over the United States. He programmed for me for quite a while. And basically he set me up on an app, and he was able to program some workouts for me. So I'd wake up, he'd program me a workout. It would be sitting there in the morning, and I'd go do it. And he's really great at what he does. So if you want info about him, you can go back, and I don't have the episodes in front of me, but just look for Coach Trent and he'll be in there. Or if you want to reach out to me, I can help connect you with him as well and get you his contact info. He's on Instagram, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you shot him an email or whatever too. So just do something, have fun. I hope something spoke to you today. I hope this helps. And check us out in the Locals Sober Guy community. Go to thatsoberguy.com. If you need more information, resources. And if you're tired of drinking and you want to try the 30-day challenge program, go to quitdrinkingdude.com. Love you guys. Peace, love, and respect. Keep your blood clean.